Hello VC, it's Alexander from Wax and Wine, and I'm back. I got another quick video for you, little update. I had actually already recorded this video and then didn't like how long it was. So the only unfortunate part about that was I was expounding on the virtues of Riesling, and I had probably one of the most famous Riesling producers in my possession and drank the bottle with some Thai food that night with Claudia. So in lieu of that, let's talk about, well, we're not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to share what I'm drinking. Peeper from Maine, the Maine Beer Company. So I got to have this last year with Claudia. We had Peeper and lunch. Delicious, lightly hazy, right? Kind of very golden. Clean, not this like crazy obsession with hops sometimes like our West Coast friends here. Reminds me of Shamrock Records. Cheers to you, my man. Hopefully you're watching. You've had some terrific scores recently. But I know he lives in Maine, and that's where I proposed to Claudia, in the Acadia National Park. So good feelings for the beer, good feelings for lobster rolls, and for that national park, and so much more. So Maine was really wonderful. What is this video? This video is going to be a quick RSD thing, as quick as I can, Pac-Man my way through. And a little bit of thrift stores, because you know what's true to form. I'm a thrift store guy. That's how I roll. I spend enough at record stores that it feels better. It's cool to buy a $1,000 Alice Clark record at, say, Atomic that's on the wall. I would love to do that. I'd love to be in that position. But you know what's cooler? Finding it at a thrift store. If it all hits, it feels better to pay a couple dollars for a record, right? At the end of the day, we're just chasing music here, guys. We're chasing what we love. And I'm getting turned on to things by you guys. You're getting maybe turned on to things when I'm not just Pac-Manning my way through this. So let's keep going. Found this record before. This is the second time I found it. So this time I said, I gotta take it. This copy's not even as clean as the first one. I was like, I don't really need it, but that's a really cool thing to find. Back to the Future. Now this kind of is typical of how I used to collect and kind of just how I listen to music in general. There is some real nostalgia with this film, right? And so if you're of my generation, and you probably have a good feeling for this film and the music. So Huey Lewis and the News, Power of Love, ended up having to get it. Got that at Goodwill. The record, honestly, is in excellent shape. This jacket's strong VG. There's like a little weird wear happening on the edges. So this next one, this is probably the hottest of the three thrift finds I found. This is a record, and it'll tie into Record Store Day because I got her first ever record as a repress on Record Store Day. Of course, I'm talking about Ann Peebles. I found a DJ copy, Part-Time Lover, from 1970. This is her second record off that High London label, United States pressing here. Beautiful Soul. That Part-Time Lover song, I believe, would probably be the biggest hit off this record. Cut gorgeously, just super present in her vocals. And honestly, after the RSD release of This Is Ann Peebles, that 69 recording, her first four records I'm after. So now I have 2 of the 4, and I'm grateful. $3.99. Okay, and then the last one. The last one I found not at a thrift store, but it was in the vinyl clearance section of a store called Book Off. So we have quite a few of these in Southern California, and that's a Japanese company that has anime and CDs and books and all kinds of stuff. But they have a record selection. And so I'll go in there, and I don't really ever find anything. This was weird, though. I looked through the whole selection. It's always sprinkled, right? Because it's not a record store, so people get mischievous and they move shit around in the bins. Here, a young guy walks up, kind of as I'm like digging through the records, pulls so they have vinyl clearance in like little bins on the ground on casters. So he pulls out one of the bins and then just walks away. Like didn't even look in the bin, just kind of walked away. So I thought, oh, that's weird. And I just kept digging, and I was like, well, I'll probably find something. Didn't find anything. And then I looked down at the bin he had just pulled out, and the first thing I see is Mr. Donald Byrd blowing hard on that trumpet with a record called Child's Play off Polydor. So I thought it was because I'm in a Japanese-esque store, this was a Japanese pressing. This is a German pressing from '66, and this was originally Duke Pearson's Hush. So the Duke Pearson Quintet from 1961 off Jazzline, so a very rare record. And then this is titled after one of Donald Byrd's compositions on that same record, Child's Play. So the record itself is in a VG Plus shape. This is beautiful hard bop. My record sleeve, although it presents well, is probably a VG minus. But the music is great and saves me a lot of money because I got this for $1. So very, very unusual circumstance, but really grateful. All right, talk about Record Store Day. I work on Saturdays and I don't want to request off day. I don't want to wait in line. And then the idea that you did wait in line and you didn't wake up at 2 a.m. or you didn't stay overnight to possibly get the one recording that the store that you went to didn't even get a copy of what you're talking about. Too much of a gamble. I don't care. So I took my chances. Saturday after work, I ended up going to 4 record stores. The list has a few things that I want, a couple things from Ween affiliated and the Ween record. And then there was a jazz record I wanted. And I thought, nothing's cut too low. The lowest was Freeman at 1,500 pressings. So I was like, whatever. If it happens, it happens. So go downtown to my friends there at Going Underground, was able to secure the Ween's Europe 90 tour. Now, terrific music. According to the hype sticker, they are performing for one person in an audience, and I can't imagine what that would be like as a musician. But in full Ween fashion, that seems apt. It seems quite fitting that this is how they would perform, and they would go out with abandon. And it sounds great. So this is 3 discs cut to 45 RPMs, and very clean, very kind of empty space in there, and funky, wild songs, right? That's what we've grown to love about Ween. Because of Jonas in Sweden there, Stockholm Vinyl, whatever his channel is, but fantastic guy. He's so into Ween, and so I've been revisiting and CDs, and I never realized how expensive all this shit is on vinyl. So happy to have that. And then Struck Out. That was it. That was all I got. So wanted Freeman and wanted Pinnacle from Buster Williams, and didn't happen, but that's okay, you know? So the other cool thing about Record Store Day, sometimes stores don't participate, but they load the bins full of great used vinyl, such as Record Safari or a few other stores here in Los Angeles. Amoeba does both, so they'll pump it full in the used vinyl and they'll participate in RSD. There, I found a couple really, really awesome records. So I didn't get any RSD titles, but I did leave with Chico. I believe this comes out in the late 70s. This is his first recording on India Navigation label there, and terrific, with Cecil McBee on bass. It's a very quiet thing, very beautiful spiritual jazz. This is a little bit less of the squawking, a little bit more kind of like creating a space, and just always worked for me. Those 3 titles from Chico Freeman, the sax player, on India Navigation are all worth seeking out. They're fantastic. And I think Acoustic Sounds even did a reissue of one of those. The other record I left with at Amoeba, which was super cool, this kind of goes back to that nostalgia. And this is Super Drag, one of the greatest album covers. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm just personally, with photography, always been obsessed with mirrors, and you know, like the rear view mirror for Townes Van Sant or something like that. Things with mirrors I find very fascinating, and this woman looks beautiful. This photograph is crazy perspective, and then the songs friggin' kick ass. So this was an album I listened to a boatload. Songs like Sucked Out, Destination Ursa Major, and then N.A. Kicker. These were songs that got played heavy on CD for me. Also came with that, a little signed print with the record. So very, very happy to have it. And I think I paid just under $30 for a sealed copy. Let the Dust Settle. You know, I had gone to 4 stores, didn't find the stuff I was looking for. So on Monday, I go down south to do a couple different jobs. So while I was down there, I wanted to check out a record store. So I checked out one in Long Beach just to see if they had anything. left over. It's one of my favorite record stores. It's called Third Eye Records, and they did. They had Buster Williams' Pinnacle from 1975 off Muse. These are terrific reissues. Muse is now super in vogue in the jazz world. Everyone knows to look out for these titles. And like from Walt Barr to Buster Williams, it's all in the zone. It's all great. So the beauty of Record Store Day is that this pressing I've never seen. I've seen a CD copy at an Amoeba in San Francisco, and that was it. I've never seen this at a record store. And I've gone to a lot of record stores, you know that. So it's a very rare record, and it's a very expensive record. I believe the median price is $150. This would probably cost me about $200 to $300 if I got a clean copy like this. So for 40 bucks, I was so grateful to add this to the collection. Beautiful kind of post-bop. Buster Williams is a terrific bassist. He's coupled here with Woody Shaw, Sonny Fortune, Alan Gums, Billy Hart on drums. It's a really kick-ass lineup. Really, really terrific record. So very happy that I got one of those. Their bins were also still full. And this was, a couple days after Record Store Day. Got to leave with a Billy Bragg record, one of my favorite artists. Mr. Billy Bragg's Life's Riot, etc. And then this has, a New England, which if you're not familiar with him, that would be kind of a really cool way to get into his music. Yeah, absolutely awesome. So the whole A side of this record is just, it'll melt your little face, or your big face, whatever you got. Delicious. 10 bucks, happy. And then I decided, let's press my luck. Let's roll the dice. Let's see what we got. What do they have on the wall at Third Eye Records? Can. Tago Mago. A little krautrock. This is a second German pressing from 1973. Who cares? It's really, really great music. Can's Eggy Banyasi and this Tago Mago plus maybe Future Days. Whew. You gotta have them all. They are deliciously wild, highly energetic, rhythmic masterpieces. And yeah, this was honestly my first time. It probably was like, I've only seen it a handful of times, but I was in the spending mood, so I got it, and grateful. So yeah, that one wasn't cheap, but whatever. You don't see Can that often, so when you do, you strike. And lastly, not related to Record Store Day, just two of the most recent arrivals in my selection and stuff that's kind of near and dear to my heart. Actually, it's two Texas troubadours. Mr. Guy Clark, from the early 80s, 1981, I believe. Yeah, 1981 off Warner Brothers. I love this album cover, by the way. The South Coast of Texas. Looks so handsome. Got that beautiful voice. Not like a pristine voice, kind of a little edge to the voice, and then kind of nice straight ahead country songs, right? We got a little fiddle happening, we got some other stuff going on. Great. Didn't pay too much, loved it. Got these out. The other one from 1978, Flying Shoes, Mr. Townes Van Sant, an original pressing off Tomato. This originally was going to come out in 1973, but it was going to be titled 7-11. However, there were some legal issues and some money issues kind of holding this song's ransom, and so it was released in 78, 5 years later under Flying Shoes. Whew. This is a really beautiful record. There's some really, really powerful songs on there. I really like the songs on the B-side quite a bit, like Dollar Bill Blues. You got that funky kind of resonance happening. But yeah, No Place to Fall. It's really, really present. You really get the vocals kind of super clean and in your face. But very, very good songwriting and nothing you wouldn't expect from Mr. Townes Van Sant. So that's it, guys. Really, really terrific stuff. Been lucky, and I'll keep you apprised of other stuff. Hopefully I'll have more videos coming soon. Thank you for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.